Virginia 1859. The senator who shared his wife with 5 servants. Welcome to this dark chapter of American history. In the autumn of 1859, as tensions over slavery gripped the nation, a powerful Virginia senator made a shocking decision that would shatter his family and reputation forever. This is a story of desperation, power, and the brutal realities of a society built on human ownership. You are now reading a unique narrative never told before in this form. If stories of hidden scandals from the past intrigue you, stay with me until the end. The year was 1859. Virginia stood at the heart of the slave-holding South. Plantations stretched across the rolling hills, and the economy depended entirely on enslaved labor. In Richmond, politics revolved around defending the peculiar institution against growing abolitionist pressure from the North. Senator Elias Harrington, 54 years old, was one of the most influential voices in the Virginia legislature. A descendant of old colonial families, he owned over 150 enslaved people on his sprawling estate, Willow Creek, just outside Charlottesville. His speeches in defense of states' rights and slavery earned him respect and fear among his peers. His wife, Catherine Harrington, 38, came from equally prominent lineage. Educated in Philadelphia, she was known for her grace, her skill at the harp, and her role as hostess at lavish gatherings. Their marriage, arranged 18 years earlier, had produced no living children. 3 pregnancies ended in miscarriage or stillbirth. Doctors offered no clear explanation, blaming her delicate constitution. For Senator Harrington, the lack of an heir was more than personal grief. It threatened the end of his dynasty. Without a son, his vast lands, wealth, and political influence would scatter among distant cousins after his death. In the patriarchal world of the antebellum South, a man without male descendants was seen as incomplete, even cursed. Rumors from neighboring states reached him through private letters. Some wealthy planters, facing similar childlessness, had turned to extreme measures. Whispers spoke of using healthy enslaved men to ensure heirs, registering the children as legitimate under the husband's name. The practice was hidden, denied publicly, but known among certain elite circles desperate to preserve bloodlines. In October 1859, a confidential letter from a cousin in South Carolina arrived. It described cases where such arrangements had succeeded, producing strong children who carried the family name forward. The senator read it obsessively. His Anglican upbringing called it sin. Yet the fear of extinction gnawed deeper. He began observing his enslaved workforce with new eyes. Who was strongest? Who showed sharpness of mind? Who had lighter features that might not raise immediate questions? Catherine noticed the change. Her husband asked odd questions about her cycles, watched her more intently. One rainy November evening, after dinner, he revealed the plan. "Catherine," he said quietly, "we can still have children. But it requires your full submission to a difficult path." Her reaction was horror. She wept, begged him to abandon the idea. It violated every notion of honor, faith, and decency she had been taught. But in that era, a wife's duty was obedience. Refusal was not truly an option. The senator's authority was absolute. By late November, he selected 5 enslaved men based on strict criteria: physical vigor, youth, between 22 and 32, basic skills, and skin tones that might blend with European ancestry in future generations. The men were Jacob, 28, blacksmith, strong and quiet, known for precision work. Thomas, 25, field driver, tall and healthy, with mechanical aptitude. Samuel, 30, coachman, skilled with horses, respected among others. Ezekiel, 26, carpenter, literate in basic reading from secret lessons. Nathan, 29, gardener, knowledgeable about plants and herbal remedies. A small cabin far from the main house was prepared, simple, private, with basic furnishings. Rules were ironclad. Scheduled meetings only during fertile periods, absolute secrecy, supervision from a distance. Refusal meant severe punishment. Participation promised extra food, lighter duties, new clothing, and, if a child resulted, the possibility of freedom for the man involved. The first meeting occurred on a cold December morning in 1859. Catherine arrived trembling, dressed plainly. The selected man waited, equally tense. No words passed beyond necessity. The senator stood outside, pacing, ensuring no interruptions. The routine repeated weekly. Each man had his assigned day. Catherine coped by retreating mentally, reciting psalms, imagining distant places, anything to detach from the moment. The enslaved men reacted differently. Some treated it as another forced labor. Others showed small kindnesses, A flower from the garden, a quiet question about her comfort, tiny acts of humanity in a dehumanizing system. By spring 1860, Catherine showed signs of pregnancy. The senator rejoiced privately. A doctor confirmed it, praising new treatments. No one suspected the truth. But success brought complications. The child, born in late 1860, was healthy, a boy. Yet his skin tone and hair texture revealed African ancestry clearly. Whispers spread among house staff. Neighbors noticed during visits. The senator spun tales of distant ancestors, but doubts grew. Catherine loved her son fiercely, yet each look at him reminded her of the cost. A second pregnancy followed in 1861. Another child arrived with similar features. The facade crumbled faster. Society turned. Invitations stopped. Political allies distanced themselves. In 1862, during the Civil War's chaos, anonymous letters circulated. The senator lost committee positions. Creditors pressed. The plantation suffered neglect. The enslaved men lived in fear. Some were sold away quietly, others reassigned to distant fields to silence potential talk. Catherine's health declined. Depression consumed her. In early 1863, she took her own life with poison from the garden plants, leaving a hidden note confessing everything and begging forgiveness. The senator collapsed mentally. Willow Creek was auctioned off in 1864 to pay debts. He died alone 2 years later, broken and disgraced. The children were raised by reluctant relatives, forever marked by scandal and prejudice. This tragic tale exposes the twisted logic of a system that treated people as property and women as vessels. The senator's obsession with legacy destroyed everything he sought to protect. It reminds us how power, fear, and dehumanization can lead to unimaginable ruin, for enslavers and enslaved alike. What would you have done if forced into such a moral abyss? Reflect on that. Our past holds these shadows so we can build a better future.